Good evening and welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul. Can the Aam Aadmi Party outflank the BJP on the issue of Hindutva? Or is Arvind Kejriwal making a big mistake by playing straight into the BJP strength areas? That's my top focus on the news track tonight.
Mandir, Pujari and political showdown. AAP banks on Hindutva in Delhi. BJP brands Kejriwal Chunavi Hindu. Can AAP vanquish BJP on Hindutva? Or will Kejriwal's Hindu card backfire? State Award Delhi, big focus on news track.
Is the Aam Aadmi Party banking on soft Hindutva in the run-up to the Delhi elections? From accusing the Delhi Lieutenant Governor of okaying the demolition of temples to announcing 18,000 rupees per month for priests and granthis, Arvind Kejriwal and AAP have been wooing Hindu voters while accusing the BJP of being opposed to Hindu sentiments. Will this poll gambit work in the big battle for the capital, or will taking on the BJP on the issue of Hindutva backfire for the AAP?
With Delhi elections just weeks away, Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal is seeking divine intervention. He's been on a temple run, seeking blessings from Bajrang Bali to Sri Balaji. In the run-up to the crucial assembly polls, the former Delhi chief minister and his party have made Hindutva one of their big calling cards. On Wednesday, Atishi accused the BJP of intending to dismantle at least 6 temples in the capital. She claims the demolition has been facilitated by the Delhi Lieutenant Governor.
जब मैंने एलजी साहब को चिट्ठी लिखी तो उनके ऑफिस ने कई मीडिया वालों को कहा कि ऐसा कोई भी निर्णय मंदिर तोड़ने का नहीं हुआ। ये सरासर झूठ है।
पिछले विधानसभा चुनावों से पहले शाहीन बाग उठाया, उत्तर पूर्वी का दंगा करवाया कि किसी तरह से चुनाव जीत जाएं। अब दिल्ली में धार्मिक उन्माद कैसे बिगाड़ा जाए तो मंदिरों का नाम ले रहे हैं। सारी उम्र तो आपने मंदिरों की चिंता की नहीं, भगवान राम का अनादर किया, अब इनको मंदिरों की याद आ रही है।
The latest salvo from Aam Aadmi Party came days after the party announced 18,000 rupees per month honorarium for temple priests and Gurudwara Granthis. Kejriwal targeted the BJP, portraying the Saffron Party as being antithetical to the interests of Hindus in Delhi. Kejriwal's rhetoric is centered on framing the BJP as an adversary of the Hindu sanctity, while projecting his party as a protector and promoter of religious values. The Aam Aadmi Party convener also shot off a letter to RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat on New Year's Day, asking if the RSS supports the BJP's wrongdoings. Kejriwal asked if the RSS supports BJP buying voters. Does the organization think that striking off names of Dalits from voter list is good for democracy? And if RSS feel that the BJP is weakening the democracy?
जो पार्टी सिर्फ और सिर्फ दिन रात झूठ बोलती है, वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी उस केजरीवाल पे सवाल उठा रही है जिन्होंने बिजली फ्री किया, पानी फ्री किया, शिक्षा फ्री किया, इलाज फ्री किया। कॉमेडी सर्कस के पात्र बन गए हैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग, इसलिए उनकी बातों को गंभीरता से नहीं लेना चाहिए।
आप कह रहे हैं कि वोट कटवा रहे हैं, अरे वोट काटने का काम जो है या वोट जोड़ने का काम इलेक्शन कमीशन का है। आपको कुछ अगर प्रॉब्लम है तो इलेक्शन कमीशन को चिट्ठी लिखिए। आप परम पूजनीय मोहन भागवत जी को चिट्ठी लिख रहे हैं, उससे क्या होने वाला है? सिर्फ और सिर्फ डाइवर्जन टैक्टिक्स और कुछ नहीं है। लेकिन दिल्ली की जनता को आप जितने मर्जी रेवड़ी बांटते रहिए, दिल्ली की जनता आपको इन मुद्दों पर छोड़ने वाली नहीं है।
केजरीवाल देर सवेर अपनी जो असली है, जो आरएसएस के बेसिक एजेंट हम इसको कहते हैं, वो बाहर निकल आता है। एक तरफ तो कहते हैं कि इनकी जो मानसिकता है, इनकी विचारधारा जहरीली है, देश के एंटी है, फिर आप उनको सवाल लिखते हैं। तो होता क्या है कि जब आदमी जो अंदर से, हम लोग जो कहते हैं ना, जो एक बार संघी है वो जिंदगी भर संघी रहता है।
क्या लिख दिया अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने? एक अकाउंटेबिलिटी की बात की ना, कि कैसे आरएसएस जो एक मदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है भाजपा की, क्या समर्थन करती है उस भाजपा का जो खुलेआम परवेश वर्मा पैसे बांट रहे हैं, काला धन घर में रखा हुआ है, पैसे बांट के कह रहे हैं कि मुझे वोट देना, क्या इस बात का समर्थन करना ठीक है? इस बात का जवाब मांगा। इस बात का जवाब मांगा कि एक बौखलाई हुई भाजपा कैसे जेन्युइन वोटर्स के नाम दिल्ली में कटवा रही है।
The BJP has called Aam Aadmi Party's Hindutva flex politically motivated, saying it is an attempt to divert from governance issues. Will Hindutva be a factor in the battle for Delhi? Bureau Report, India Today.
The Aam Aadmi Party is attempting something which hasn't been tried often enough in Indian politics, trying to outflank the BJP on the issue of Hindutva, by trying to present himself as a big Hanuman Bhakt, by trying to present this monthly stipend for granthis and for priests, and by alleging that the LG appointed by the BJP asked for the demolition of temples. The Aam Aadmi Party is trying to reach out to the BJP's Hindu constituency, stop them from going back to the BJP. Remember, you've got about 15% of Delhi's voters who vote for the BJP in a Lok Sabha election, and the last two elections have gone back to the Aam Aadmi Party in the assembly context. So Kejriwal and AAP are trying to prevent that from happening. Is he being too clever by half? Can he pull this off? Can the Aam Aadmi Party outflank the BJP on the issue of Hindutva? To talk about this, I'm joined on the broadcast by the national spokesperson of the BJP, Shehzad Poonawala, squaring off against him, Anmol Pawar from the Aam Aadmi Party. For a perspective from within the RSS, I have Deshratan Nigam, who's an advocate of the Supreme Court, understands the inner workings of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. I have Amitabh Tiwari joining us, well-known political commentator. And I have Ashutosh, who's been a journalist, has fought elections in Delhi and is now a political analyst. I want to start by asking Anmol first about this strategy to try and woo the Hindutva voter, who typically is considered, in the Lok Sabha at least, a BJP voter. 15% of the total voters have switched for you from the BJP to the AAP in an assembly election. Are you just trying to ensure that by doing this, you can prevent that from happening or ensure that it happens again in this assembly election as well?
Rahul ji, we have never practiced politics of vote bank, politics of religion. We have always practiced kaam ki rajniti. Politics of development. That is why in every election, whether it's 2013 assembly election, 2015 or 2020, our leader very categorically said, and he's the only one in the country who said कि अगर मैंने काम किया हो तो मुझे वोट देना, अगर मैंने तुम्हारे बच्चों के लिए अच्छे स्कूल बनाए हो तो मुझे वोट देना, अच्छे अस्पताल बनाए हो तो मुझे वोट देना, मैंने तुम्हें 24 घंटे बिजली दी हो तो मुझे वोट देना, पानी दिया हो तो मुझे वोट देना, महिलाओं के लिए मुफ्त बस यात्रा दी हो तो मुझे वोट देना, बुजुर्गों के लिए मुफ्त तीर्थ यात्रा दी हो तो मुझे वोट देना.
You're making a stump speech. I'm asking you a straight question. Three things have happened. The Chief Minister accuses the Lieutenant Governor of ordering the demolition of temples. He contests that. The Aam Aadmi Party announced 18,000 rupees for temple priests. Clearly, all of this is with an eye on the Hindu-Wadi vote. That's what you're trying to target. I'm trying to get you to explain that strategy.
Rahul ji, the only person in the politics of this country who works for the welfare of every section of society is Arvind Kejriwal ji. After governing for last decade and after people have reposed faith in him in 2015 and 2020 by giving a brute majority, despite electing BJP on the national front, the people of Delhi chose Aam Aadmi Party.
But you're dodging my question.
No, but yeah, I'm answering that. After 10 years of governance, when for the first time in the history of this country, he introduced this Pujari Granthi Samman Yojana for the first time, then BJP is rattled because they have failed to answer that they have government in 20 states for last more than 75 years. Why didn't they implement it?
Why have Christian priests been left out of this?
Just a minute.
Once again, there are Sikh voters and the Hindu voters. Christians are very few in number. If this is not targeted towards vote banks, why have Christian priests been left out?
See, I'll answer that. The fact is that...
Just answer my question. You're dancing around. Just answer my straight question.
The Bharatiya Janata Party has government in Gujarat for more than 25
years. That doesn't answer my question. I'm asking you a question about Christian priests.
That is why they are rattled.
You're saying this is not to do with vote banks. Just listen. You're understanding this, right? I'm asking a straight question. I expect a straight answer. I'm saying if this is not to do with vote banks, why have Christian priests been left out? Just answer this question.
See, we are in talk, we are in consultation with them also, and certainly they'll part of this scheme in the future. Governance is work in progress. हम सबका ध्यान रखते हैं, सबको साथ लेके चलते हैं.
So this was an oversight, not because there are more Hindus and more Punjabis.
Not at all, not at all.
Okay, Amitabh Tiwari, before I go to Shehzad Poonawala, because Anmol hasn't answered the question at all, try and make sense for our viewers of what is at play. Is Arvind Kejriwal attempting here through these multiple moves to keep the Hinduvadi, Hindutva voter of the BJP, who typically switches from the BJP to the AAP in the assembly? He's trying to ensure that it happens again?
See, essentially, there are three layers of identity politics which happens in Delhi. One is, of course, religious. The other is... Now, there is a very complex interplay amongst all these three, which complicates matters for all the parties. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party is playing soft Hindutva because it does not want to be brandished as Congress Party as doing minority appeasement. That is number one. Number two, there is a bit of caste politics involved in this as well. Because if you see, 50% of the upper caste and the upper vote largely for the BJP and lesser for the Aam Aadmi Party. The Aam Aadmi Party takes the lead amongst Dalits, Muslims, Sikhs and other minorities. Now with this announcement of 18,000 rupees for Pujaris, and mind you, across India, most of the Pujaris belong to the Brahmin community. It is also trying to woo the Brahmins who historically, traditionally have voted for the BJP in large numbers. Now it realizes that this time the people voting for it because of development or as being beneficiaries, there is likely to be a big dent this time because the track record of performance of Kejriwal 2.0 is lesser or weaker than Kejriwal 1.0. So he realizes that, or AAP realizes that there could be some losses on this beneficiary Bharati politics voters, and this needs to be compensated.
Okay, so let me hold that thought. You've tried to explain what's going on. Shehzad Poonawalla, now this idea of giving 18,000 rupees to Pujaris is a politically potent idea because Pujaris are important not just because they are Brahmins and that's an important vote bank, but also because they're society mobilizers. You know, they can sway voters. That's the way it's been. And you just saw Anmol last. We've done this in Delhi. The AAP is saying, why haven't you done this in 20 states? He's saying, I am the real Hinduvadi. Aap nakli ho, aap nahi kuch Hinduon ke karte, I will do it. Are you concerned this could impact some of the Lok Sabha votes that you had and send them back to the AAP again in the assembly election for the third time over?
राहुल जी, जब ओरिजिनल होता है तो जेरोक्स कॉपी ज्यादा काम नहीं आती. लेट मी गिव द प्रूफ. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आस्क्ड बाय माय डियर फ्रेंड अनमोल वाज दैट आपने कितने स्टेट में, एक स्टेट में क्यों नहीं किया? मध्य प्रदेश 2018 50,000 sadhus are getting it. 2019 Uttar Pradesh sadhus are getting the pension. Then after that in Uttar Pradesh, Kashi and Ayodhya, both places they get at least, some people even get up to 80,000 rupees has been reported. Then let me tell you, in Andhra Pradesh where our NDA government is there, 3,000 to Vidya Ved scholars, 25,000 approximately to Mandir Acharyas. This has already been done. Now, secondly, they are saying originally.
So you think it's a good scheme?
One second.
You also want to now do the same?
I'll come one by one, I'll address it. The bigger allegation that they made, and I want to make a big disclosure because I think your show is watched by lakhs of people. They said that we or the LG has demolished some temples. I am showing you documents from 16 to 23. And with the signature of Mr. Satyendra Jain, 9 temples have been demolished. This is on record, his sign is there. These are 7 temples in Karaval Nagar and 2 temples in New Usmanpur, signed off by him. Please sir, let me finish. Between 2016 to 2023, and I have sent you the document on your WhatsApp, you are free to show it to your Delhi reporters and fact check it. Approximately 24 Hindu structures have been broken and demolished by them. In fact, in April 2024, during the Ram Navami time, Atishi Marlena, who was the PWD minister, she ordered the demolition of mandirs. And you can hear this.
Ordered the demolition of temples in West Delhi 2 days ahead of Ram Navami, that is 2 days from now. The PWD...
No, but they'll deny.
No, one second. Let me finish. Yes. I did not interrupt Anmol even once. Sir, I am putting the document. I'll send you the documents. Please see your WhatsApp.
I'll have it checked, yes.
Please check it. Now let me come to the third point. Let's assume that Anmol Pawarji is the champion of Hindutva politics. DMK said Sanatan Samap. Did they walk out of alliance? Today we have seen Pinarayi Vijayan's statement on Sanatan. Did they say anything? Shivling should be found in CM's house. Akhilesh Yadav, did they say anything? Ramcharit Manas ko gali di, did they say anything? Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha Naach Gana, did they say anything? So this is the true face of Aam Aadmi Party. And finally, addressing your larger question, that is this a good scheme? Sir, where we have government, we have implemented, we have started giving. They have a government here. There's no model code of conduct. They are promising where they are already in power. Why not give it? And Waqf and Imams got from 10 years. And Hindu priests will get in the future. किसको बेवकूफ बना रहे हैं? पंजाब में 1000 रुपए महिलाओं को दिए, पंजाब में कितनी महिलाओं को 1000
One
रुपए
second.
दिए? आप पूछ लीजिए।
Ashutosh, Shehzad Poonawala's most telling point is if you have an original, why go with the copy? You understand the mind of Arvind Kejriwal well. Do you think the strategy of soft Hindutva can work? The Congress has tried it in the past. It didn't work for them. Can it work for Kejriwal?
Rahul, there are three things. First of all, this is nothing new that Arvind Kejriwal is playing a soft Hindutva, because if you remember in 2020 Parliament Assembly elections, Hanuman Chalisa chanting, and then he had gone to the Hanuman Chalisa. So he has been, he knows that he can't ignore the Hindu population and he can't ignore the Hindu voters. You remember in Gujarat Assembly elections when he said कि करेंसी के नोट पे अगर आप लक्ष्मी गणेश की तस्वीर लगा देंगे तो आपकी इकोनॉमी ठीक हो जाएगी. So he had been pursuing for that. And prior to 2020 assembly elections, when the riot happened in the northeast Delhi, then Arvind Kejriwal and his party deliberately avoided going over there, and no critical rehabilitation plan was ever planned to rehabilitate the riot victims, especially the Muslims in that particular area. And when Tahir Hussain was caught, immediately he was sacked. So he is trying to, he knows that if he is fighting with Bharatiya Janata Party, then BJP being a smart party will paint Aam Aadmi Party as a pro-Muslim party, as a party which appeases Muslims, and then would like to polarize Hindus against them. So if this time is pursuing, I think is well within his right, and he's doing a smart politics. But second thing, which is more critical on that issue, is that he is trying to engage BJP on a issue on which BJP can't avoid. BJP can't accuse Aam Aadmi Party that do something else here and there. So this is basically engaging BJP, asking him questions. Why have you not done in Delhi and in nearby areas? And third point is very, very simple. It's basically setting the agenda, and the BJP is caught into that agenda and trying to react to that agenda. And that is what Aam Aadmi Party has been doing and the Kejriwal has been doing since 2013. If you remember, when the scooter used to, when the auto used to go and used to ask questions, where is BJP's face? Is it Vijay Malhotra? Is it Vijay Malhotra? Is it Vijay Goyal, or is it Harshvardhan? Who is that? And who is that? Who is that? And BJP started reacting to that. So this is a very tried and tested style of Arvind Kejriwal campaigning. Set the agenda, set the narrative, and then let BJP and the Congress react.
What we've also seen this time, Deshrata Nigam, is the spectre of Arvind Kejriwal writing to the Sarsang Chalak of the RSS, asking if the RSS will back the BJP in Delhi as it has backed the BJP in Maharashtra and in Haryana, where there's a lot of micromanagement by people associated with the RSS. What's the thinking within the RSS on this issue? Typically, the RSS claims they want to stay away from politics, but a lot of RSS supporters in the past have, in assembly elections, also sided with the AAP. So, is the RSS internally divided, or do you think this is just a poll gimmick by Kejriwal?
I think it's a failing attempt on the part of Kejriwal to bring RSS into it in order to divert his failures, whether it is water supply, whether it is roads or health system in Delhi, or about the education breakdown in the educational system, which is clearly quite evident and visible. RSS has no comment about it. It is for the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party to battle it out. Yes, Swayam Sevak, since they have a voting right, they have a voting preferences, and they go out and vote. So you cannot separate, a universal adult franchise and the political thought from a Swayam Sevak. That's one thing. Secondly, about Hindutva. Hindutva is all inclusive. Anybody has a right to use Hindutva, but one has to be honest about it. If you look at Kejriwal, please see his tweet on 20th March 2019, where Jharu was beating swastik. It had made quite a bhuchal in the system. Then he called the Kashmiri files as a jhooti film, implying that the Kashmiri genocide was fake. Then opposing jobs for Kashmiri Hindu teachers, he challenged it in the Supreme Court when his petition was dismissed and he was forced to regularize it. Then raising questions on Ram Mandir. Then afterwards, changing his stance. Then sheltering Delhi anti-Hindu riots accused Tahir Hussain and Amanatullah Khan also. Then supporting Tukde Tukde gang. then demolishing old Hindu temple in Chandni Chowk. There are huge number of things. You cannot be anti-Hindu and Hindutva, and at the same time, when the election comes, you start becoming a Hindu. That's people can see through it. Therefore, if you have to be honest about Hindutva, be honest about it. Nobody is asking you that you cannot be a Hindu or Hindutva, use Hindutva, but you have to be honest, genuine, and at least
let Anmol respond to what you're saying, that Kejriwal is acting like a Chunavi Hindu, that all this comes to his mind only around the time of the assembly elections when he needs the Hindu voters.
See, Rahul, first I'll respond to what BJP spokesperson said. In 2022,
why don't you respond to the question? What sort of debating tactic is this? I'm asking you a question. I expect you to respond to the question that I'm asking. You can respond to him later. This is the second time you're doing this. It's a bit infuriating.
Yeah, first I'll respond to him because I don't want the viewers to be misinformed. It is the central BJP-led central government which ordered demolition of 53 temples in 2022. And see, this is the Delhi Assembly जिसने निंदा प्रस्ताव पास किया था कि कोई भी temple टूटना नहीं चाहिए. And also, here's the affidavit of Bharatiya Janata Party. अपने एफिडेविट में कोर्ट में आई हैव मार्क्ड दिस, इन्होंने ये कहा है कि टेंपल को तोड़ देना चाहिए. ये इनका एफिडेविट है, कोर्ट में दाखिल है. मोरओवर दे सेड कि भाई दिल्ली सरकार ने टेंपल तोड़वाने के आदेश दिए 2024 में. सी दिस, Saurabh Bhardwaj, he wrote to the Lieutenant Governor, he said that withdraw the order of raising of temples. Why didn't the Lieutenant Governor took any action? और ये कहते हैं, चलो ठीक है, ये कहते हैं ये बड़े सच्चे पक्के हिंदू हैं. इन सच्चे पक्के हिंदू जो हैं, इनकी आप सच्चाई देखिए जरा. लिसन टू दिस.
हिंदू नहीं है, वो सिर्फ ड्रामा है. ये सच्चे पक्के हिंदू भी नहीं है. मोदी जी ने कभी 4 धामों का तीर्थ यात्रा भी नहीं की आज तक. इससे ज्यादा हिंदू अगर आप कहेंगे तो दिग्विजय सिंह सनातन धर्म को बहुत मानते हैं और सुबह उठ के पूजा पाठ करते हैं. मनोज भाई है, कन्हैया है, मुझे लगता है कि ये लोग जो है इनसे कहीं ज्यादा हिंदू है. ये तो किसी के नहीं, अपने बाप के नहीं है.
And what did the deputy chief minister of Uttar Pradesh said? He said Sita Mata test tube baby. And listen.
पिताजी का जन्म हुआ तो घोड़े से हुआ. उस समय टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी का कोई ना कोई प्रोजेक्ट रहा होगा उस प्रकार का, जो घड़ से हल चलाया जनक जी ने और उसके घड़े के अंदर से वो बेबी निकली. सीता.
But you haven't answered my question. No, but how much time do you expect to answer a question?
These are all for making clips of Aam Aadmi Party. Now they will take out the clip and tweet it.
Their Rajya Sabha, the member of parliament from Rajya Sabha, Naresh Agarwal, who is in BJP right now, what are his views on Hindus?
विस्की में विष्णु बसे, विस्की में विष्णु बसे, रम में श्री राम, जिनमें माता जानकी और ठर्रे में हनुमान, सियावल रामचंद्र.
Now BJP spokesperson must admit it nationally that he is against all these kind of comments and he'll ask for their expulsion from his national president. आप बताइए, आप कहेंगे ऐसे व्यक्ति को अपनी पार्टी में?
Can I please answer?
Let Shahzad respond.
ऐसे व्यक्ति को. Rahul, I have heard him patiently. Yes. I know they've got enough content to make their viral clips, but he must hear the truth also. Let's start from the last thing he showed. Naresh Agarwal, please don't interrupt now. Rahul, I think you gave everyone a chance. Naresh Agarwal, when he made those comments, he was in Samajwadi Party. And for 6 months after that, he was in Samajwadi Party. He was not expelled. And it was the BJP that made him apologize. Only after he apologized, and then he left the Samajwadi Party. He was never removed. Today, who's with Samajwadi Party? Secondly, chalo, you have shown all these kinds of statements, right? So now please tell me about this.
તમારી માતા બહેનોને પણ રિક્વેસ્ટ કરવી જોઈએ.
Gopal Italia.
હે મારી માવડીઓ, હે મારી બહેનો, હે મારી દીકરીઓ, કથાઓમાં કે મંદિરોમાં તમારું કઈ વળવાનું છે નહીં.
No, but what's the point you guys are making?
So I'll come to the point because one second, I did not interrupt you, sir. Also this.
बाबरी मस्जिद का ध्वंस हुआ तो मैंने नानी से पूछा, नानी अब तो आप बड़े खुश हो गए,
अब सुनना भी पड़ेगा.
भगवान राम का मंदिर बनेगा. कहती है ना बेटा, मेरा राम किसी की मस्जिद.
Now the point I'm trying to make is only this. I did not interrupt, Mr. Anmol. I did not interrupt. I know you've got your clips, but please allow me to keep my point. It's a serious debate. The point I'm trying to make is that Naresh Agarwal was not in our party when he made those comments, but Gopal Italia is still in your party. Arvind Kejriwal is still in your party. One second.
One at a time. Anmol, I don't like your tactics. You don't answer questions. You're coming with a predetermined agenda. This is not right. It's almost as if I'm talking to a wall. I ask you a question. I expect you, if you're a smart, intelligent person, to answer my question.
Rahul,
it's the least that you should do it for the viewers.
If they have truth on their side, they can wait their turn.
Let him speak. He heard you patiently. Allow him to speak.
Sure.
Only thing I'm saying is that since you are a champion of Hindutva, the statements on DMK, statements of left, statements of TMC, statements of Congress, statements of Samajwadi Party are there. What is your stand on them? Please take a stand. Now let's move on to the next point of it. The next point is that you have told me that should I feel uncomfortable or should I feel insecure, and Mr. Ashutosh also said that the narrative is being set by them. Ashutosh ji, narrative was being set so-called by the opposition party in Haryana also. Narrative was being said by so-called opposition parties in Maharashtra also. And you used to come and say the same things, that narrative is being said by them, BJP is following. But this gives us an opportunity to expose what they really are. And let me tell you, today when the people used to say कि मंदिर दर्शन वो करते हैं जो काम का दर्शन नहीं दे सकते, I want to ask them, pollution मुक्त दिल्ली हुई क्या? तार मुक्त दिल्ली हुई क्या? यमुना 2025 we are going to clean it. I will take डुबकी हुई क्या यमुना साफ? Okay. European standard, just 10 seconds more. European standard roads, 500 new schools, they're saying we built classrooms. 24 new hospitals, name the new hospitals. Name them. 20 new universities. So the question is that when they have not delivered on anything, they come and they try to portray this. I'm saying today, 1 second. I'm now last statement. They are saying that the biggest Hindus, no? Why are you giving after 10 years of your government to the Pujaris? Say that the 10-year Bakaya also we will give to the Pujaris, which we started for the Imams.
No, but Ashutosh, this is quite confusing for most people. The fact is that when Atishi, the Chief Minister, alleges that the LG asked for the temples to be demolished, the LG says this is a lie, no such thing has happened. Now you've got Shehzad Poonawalla coming out with some signature of an AAP minister saying demolish the temples. Anmol is countering that. You know, most people who are watching are quite confused. There's no way. It's like he said, she said. There's no way of knowing who's telling the truth. So does that then muddle the pictures? How will the voters then come to the conclusion of who they actually wish to vote for? Because you've got a lot of mud being flung by these netas at each other.
See, Rahul, I think the voter is very smart. And what Arvind Kejriwal is trying to avoid and divert is that 11 years of anti-incumbency. Don't forget, since 2013, the Aam Aadmi Party has been in the government, except a few months in 2014 when there was a Lieutenant Governor's rule. So he has to do a lot of explaining that whatever you have promised, a few have been delivered, like water and the electricity has been delivered. The bus ride has been delivered for the women. But what about other things? What about the roads? What about sanitation? What about Yamuna? So these are the things which he has to do a lot of explaining. To avoid explaining those issues, he is coming to these issues, and he has been very, very smartly, he's strategizing. Like one day he'll announce that 2,100 rupees will be given to the women. So for 3, 4 days, 5 days, the whole media will be talking about it. The BJP will be reacting, the Congress will be reacting and trying to put mud on him. Then after a few days, he'll announce something else. And then the BJP is again caught into that. And now he's come with this about this Granthi and the Pujaris. So the issue is what the Sajad has said in the second part of it. I think those are the questions which needs to be asked. Instead of asking and telling me, Chunawi Hindu or Asli Hindu or Nakli Hindu. Like the poster I have seen in Delhi by BJP, कि भाई आपने पंजाब में 2100 रुपए दिया नहीं, अब आप दिल्ली में कैसे दोगे? I think those are the questions which needs to be asked instead of reacting to what BJP was.
Amita Tiwari, do you buy this argument that Ashutosh is making, that these are weapons of mass distraction? You fire, you build some smoke screen, and then a couple of days later you fire another salvo, and that's how he's running the campaign in dribs and bits, coming out with new announcements, allowing that to set the agenda, and the BJP for once looking to be reacting to what the AAP is doing rather than set the agenda. But Shehzad countered that to say, if mahal and narrative is all that mattered, then Congress would have won in Haryana.
Of course, as I said in my opening statement, that this clearly is a diversionary tactic, because the Aam Aadmi Party also realizes that apart from the big scheme of free bus travel, nothing substantial has happened in this term. What has happened is that on the Yamuna cleaning, or on setting up of Wi-Fi cameras, or on Bijli Sadak and Pani, what has happened is that he has himself, Kejriwal ji has admitted that some of the promises have not been delivered. So now the risk is that the BJP could fall into this trap, and as has been on this debate also, in trying to prove that we are the original Hindutvawadi party and we are the propagators of Hindutva, and not focus on anti-incumbency at the local level, because we've seen in Maharashtra as well as in Haryana that the party has shown to everybody that instead of a presidential style election, it can succeed in a seat by seat hyper local election as well. And it's just that I'm saying that I'm cautioning, and that of course BJP would be doing that they need to also focus and exploit the anti-incumbency at the local level.
Let Anmol respond to the point that both Ashutosh and Amitabh are making, that these are fire and scoot tactics. And in part, he's calling them diversionary to take attention away from what you haven't done on the issue of Wi-Fi cameras, on the issue of cleaning the Yamuna, and on several other development proposals. And therefore, you want to build a smoke screen, create some noise, not have to answer questions of how many new schools, how many new hospitals. Respond, Anmol.
Our leader has very categorically said that in the past 10 years, we have ensured people are getting 24/7 free electricity. We have built almost 25,000 new classrooms, 38 new flyovers, 39th was inaugurated today. 6,800 kilometers of new sewer lines have been laid, 10,000 kilometers of roads have been built, 3 lakh CCTV cameras, 4 lakh street lights. And we have also ensured that the women gets free bus rides and the senior citizens get free pilgrimage. He has very clearly, very candidly has admitted that as far as Yamuna
he also
is concerned,
admitted in the interview he did with us, where he said that there are many things I haven't been able to do, like clean the Yamuna, which he hopes to get done now. But Shehzad and the BJP will ask, अब तक नहीं किया तो आप आगे कैसे करोगे?
देखिए, जितना काम हमने पिछले 10 साल में किया है ना आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार ने, इतना कोई और पार्टी पिछले 75 साल में नहीं कर पाई. This is also a reality which everyone acknowledges, because our model is not just lauded in India but even worldwide. And secondly, अभी देश रतन निगम जी ने कुछ कहा था कि जी इन्होंने शहजाद जी ने दिखाया था स्वास्तिक का निशान. मैं इसलिए कहता हूं कि फर्जी हिंदू हैं कि इन्हें इतना फर्क नहीं पता कि स्वास्तिक में और ये नाजी सिंबल में कितना फर्क है. That Jhadu was on Nasi, on the autocratic governance of the central government-led BJP. उन्होंने कभी हिंदू धर्म का अपमान नहीं किया. हम हर धर्म का सम्मान करते हैं.
To the point that both Ashutosh and Amitabh are making, that the BJP is appearing reactive. Rather than set the agenda, Kejriwal sets the agenda. All of you end up reacting. It's like BJP is in New Year holiday mode. AAP is on the street. You are reacting to what he's doing.
10 seconds.
Let him speak. I am the moderator. I have said that he will speak, so allow him to speak. Yes.
And unlike other panelists, I stick to the question that you answer. I wanted to answer Amitabh ji and Ashutosh ji, both of them. Look, today you called us for a discussion, and the clear-cut topic of the discussion was that who's playing the Hindutva card, who's trumping at the Hindutva card. Therefore, on this debate, of course, I'm going to stick to the topic. I'm not the kind who will come for one topic and start giving a bhashan on another. But that doesn't mean that my party is doing this on the ground. Rahul, you have to go and see the campaign BJP Delhi is running on the ground. In every ward, in every mohalla.
This is what they are
doing. Sir, I do not interrupt.
Distributing
So why don't you let him speak?
This is
what
so
sort of cheap debating tactics are these? So he's listening to you patiently. You are appearing highly immature and juvenile by jumping in each time. You are ruining the flow of the debate. I don't appreciate these tactics. You need to calm down, sir. Sir, he spoke. You've spoken.
Even I don't appreciate he lying on the television.
You can counter it when you get an opportunity. You can counter it. Whatever he says, you will think is a lie. Whatever you say, you think is a lie. Allow him the courtesy of completing his argument. What sort of cheap debating tactics are these? This is the exact behavior
Aam Aadmi Party displays all the time. And they bully the media. They think everything is an action.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you to respond. Just do it in a more sophisticated, more intelligent, more cerebral way. You don't have to jump in and be impatient.
And I was talking about my party's campaign. How did I even
No, but respond to the point of you being reactive.
Yes. Rahul, I'm coming. Because on your debate, you have a specific topic without interrupting others and answering the question to the point which the BJP does. We are coming and discussing on this issue. But on the ground, Rahul, every ward, every mohalla, every society, every area and locality, we are going and showing the people what exactly reality is. For instance, Ashutosh ji said, and maybe he made an error, he said that water ka issue has been done by Aam Aadmi Party. By the way, sir,
दिसंबर 2017 तक यानी कि एग्जैक्टली 22 महीने के अंदर
1 second, just be
दिल्ली
patient.
के हर कोने के अंदर, दिल्ली की हर कॉलोनी के अंदर, सभी घरों के अंदर पाइप से दिल्ली में पानी पड़ा.
This was he said that in 2017 we will deliver water in every colony. Today is 2024. First tap he has inaugurated somewhere. Even in his own Sheesh Mahal, he had to fix 17
You also promised to double farmer income by 2022.
Rahul ji, now, are we discussing
No, but I'm saying that there are promises that
Rahul, by the way, Rahul, in Tripura, the farmer incomes have been doubled.
Okay.
1 second, let me complete. Sir, please, I request you, I did not interrupt. He interrupted me so many times. Rahul ji, but I want to please, again, because your topic was about the Hindutva issue, and I am showing this with utmost responsibility. I am the national spokesperson of BJP. This is a document. The religious committee has recommended that NDMC take appropriate steps for removing the unauthorized religious structures with the help of local police, and it has been signed off by Mr. Jain, Satyendra Jain, on 23/6/2016 as Home Minister. These are the temples.
Okay.
I am saying this is a true document. If this is not true, he can sue me in court.
Now,
but now I'm asking you, what is the stand of the Aam Aadmi
Now
Party?
let AAP respond to it. Yes, Anmol.
And what about Gopal
Okay, now let
Kalia?
him speak.
See, I apologize for interrupting,
No
but the
problem,
fact is that the fact is that Bharatiya Janata Party is so rattled that their own former member of parliament, Pravesh Verma, he's openly saying, and Shehzad ji can correct me if I'm wrong, the whole nation saw that how he is distributing 1100 rupees और वो खुल के कह रहे हैं कि जी मैं तो बांटूंगा, पैसे रोक सको तो रोक लो. And the BJP-led central government is providing him police protection. They are disrupting the revolutionary and remarkable Mahila Samman Yojana, wherein we are promising to give women 2100 rupees per month. They are disrupting this Sanjeevani scheme, wherein the senior citizens, हमारे घर में भी माँ बाप हैं, हमारे घर में भी बुजुर्ग हैं. We have ensured that they get free medical treatment, not just in government hospital, but in private hospital. The Delhi government will borne all the expenses of those elderly citizens.
Deshratan Nigamji, is the level of enthusiasm, is the level of enthusiasm amongst RSS Karyakartas when it comes to supporting the BJP as high in Delhi as it was in Haryana?
Well, let me tell you one thing. There are no directions from the RSS to their Karyakartas whom to support. It is their individual choice and their political thought based on the achievements of the existing governments. And they do decide on that basis. So RSS has no official comments about
No, I'm not asking you for official comments. I'm asking you to give our viewers a sense of the mood amongst the RSS Karyakartas. Are RSS Karyakartas as enthusiastic about doing a micro campaign for the BJP in Delhi as they were in Haryana?
Let me tell you, there is a lot of overlapping of RSS Karyakartas with the BJP. And there they do campaign for the BJP because they are part of BJP as well. Similarly, there are Karyakartas of the RSS whom I know they are in the Congress as well, and Aam Aadmi Party. And I'm sure they'll work for them as well. But the point remains that you cannot be anti-Hindutva and pro-Hindutva at the same time. And I have given you plenty of examples. The moment election comes, you start becoming pro-Hindu and therefore questions your credibility is at stake.
Shehzad makes the argument. Just one second. Shehzad makes the argument that on the ground there is a micro campaign. It may not be visible on TV. On TV you may see more of Kejriwal. On social media you may see more of Kejriwal. But in the constituencies, on the ground, the BJP and the RSS are all out, and the gap isn't much. If the Congress bumps up a little bit, the AAP goes down a little bit, the BJP starts at about 37, 38, 39%. The BJP thinks the gap isn't very much. Are you hearing enough of a ground level campaign from the BJP RSS, Ashutosh?
No, not much. What I've heard is that they are trying to go to the Juggi Jhopadis, which has been the stronghold of Aam Aadmi Party as well as the Congress Party, but now it has shifted to the Aam Aadmi Party. See, what is happening here, we are forgetting that this time Arvind Kejriwal is facing triple anti-incumbency. 11 years of Arvind Kejriwal and his own government anti-incumbency. Then almost 70 to 80% MLAs have been 3 times MLAs Aam Aadmi Party. So they are also facing that kind of anti-incumbency. And then the Aam Aadmi Party is an MCD. And for the last 2 years, Aam Aadmi Party is over there. So a lot of explaining has to be done. And it is in this context I've been saying about the ground level activity. Look at what Arvind Kejriwal has done. Since coming out from the jail, he not only resigned, he not only led the Sheesh Mahal, he has been continuously on a daily basis is with the people. Whether it's a small gathering or the big gathering or Padayatra and everything is doing. Which top BJP leader is doing that on a daily basis? I just want to know.
Okay, let me put that question to Sheh. That's a good question.
I need to make a factual intervention, then I will take all your answers, and I have always followed the decision of the debate.
Go on.
Rahul, just now the spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party said, and I quote him, disrupting the Sanjeevani scheme. Is it a scheme? Is it been notified by the cabinet? And how did we disrupt it? And if they are so intent on giving this 2100 rupees, they gave the budget for 1000 rupees per woman in March. They notified it in December. In Punjab, they have a government where they said they will give 1000 rupees. How many women have they given to? How many women have they given to? And Ashutosh ji, you please show, you must hide your face behind that. And Ashutosh ji, please, with all due respect, since you asked, may I answer him? Ashutosh ji, all 7 MPs of Bharatiya Janata Party And not just the 7 MPs, but in fact, all the tall leaders of entire BJP Delhi are on the ground. Perhaps the problem what happens is that the Aam Aadmi Party is so loud with its campaign. It has money to spend on the media, not for RRTS. And because of that loud media campaign, and they think everything is an ad slot, you feel that the surround sound is theirs. But on the ground, just like you missed Haryana, Ashutosh ji, you missed Haryana, right? You missed Maharashtra, right? I remember your analysis on Maharashtra and Haryana. You are missing it in Delhi too. So with utmost respect, Mr. Ashutosh ji, Aiye, come with me. I will take you to the ground. From Virender Sachdeva to Bansuri Swaraj to Manoj Tiwari. कौन किस गली में है? मैं आपको रोज दिखाता हूँ.
Ashutosh wants to counter that. Ashutosh, very quickly.
And with politeness, I've said this, not personal attack.
No. See, Sajad, it's good for the BJP. It's very good for the BJP. BJP is on the ground. Why should I worry? Why should about care about it? The issue is very, very simple. You do not have a leader of Arvind Kejriwal's stature, and you yourself had admitted the kind of surround sound he had been able to make through media that has been the strong point of the BJP. Why the BJP can't counter that? You are complaining that he's creating that surround sound. Why not? BJP has been creating that surround sound. And
I'll answer that.
Today I had gone to I had visited to the Delhi, and I could see that there's a very strong campaigning done by the BJP through billboard and the posters. But is that enough? See,
okay.
You are dealing with a player like Arvind Kejriwal. There's no leader in Delhi which can match Arvind Kejriwal, at least in BJP.
Amitabh Tiwari, this is, just in terms of messaging and narratives, quite interesting. It's usually the BJP which is accused of dominating media landscape by having the smarter narrative game. For once, the BJP is accusing the Aam Aadmi Party of hogging all the space and having to react to their agenda. So it just shows if you can run fast, make your points, set your agenda, then you kind of, end up
Rahul,
disadvantaging your opponent.
That's not what I said.
No, fair enough, but let him respond, because the fact is that a large part of the narrative so far for Delhi has been set by the Aam Aadmi Party. And Ashutosh makes the point that when in a state like Maharashtra, look at the number of times a senior leader like Home Minister Amit Shah went to Vidarbha, went to Marathwada and micromanaged the campaign on the ground. Is the BJP, Amitabh Tiwari, in your estimate, making the same intensity of effort to win the Delhi capital? It's a smaller state. It's not as significant as Maharashtra, but are they making the same intensity of effort? Amitabh.
See, Aam Aadmi Party has been strong traditionally on social media and has been very strong compared to other opposition parties, giving BJP a run for their money. We've seen that in 2015-20 elections as well. As regards to, and it's also true that the BJP unit of Delhi is one of the weakest units of BJP in the country. They've not been able to settle around a leader because they've not been able to match Arvind Kejriwal's charisma. They're also over-dependent upon Narendra Modi in Lok Sabha elections, where the Modi factors helped them win 7-0. Having said that, in other states also, we were not able to see this on-ground campaign, as I've mentioned in a piece earlier also for India Today, that this is the strategy which BJP is now focusing on, a seat-by-seat hyper-local, exposing the non-performance of the 3 layers of government, as Ashutosh is mentioning. And whether that will succeed or not, that will not be very visible to our eyes, because it is happening sort of under the radar. So Aam Aadmi Party is taking a risk. While it is trying to divert the attention and trap BJP on issues which are probably not very relevant to the voter, what it also does is that it takes away the Aam Aadmi Party's achievements, or highlighting that achievements, and they largely...
I'm out of time. Shehzad Purawala, it's frankly
Again,
embarrassing for the Bharatiya Janata Party that for more than 2.5 decades now, you haven't had a pan-Delhi lead. I mean, it's a very small party. You threw up a Fadnavis in Maharashtra. You've got Nayab Singh Saini now in Haryana. You haven't been able to create any one leader, even during Sheila Ji's time, who could take on the incumbent chief minister face to face.
Rahul, with all due respect, with all due humility.
Shehzad is saying, I am there.
No, Rahul ji, I am not so pompous. I am not Kejriwal. Please listen to me.
Yes.
In Tripura, were we in power ever? But we came to power, and now we have...
But you had Biplab Deb at that time.
No, that time you thought Biplab Deb was also nobody. And let me not open the mouth of the political analyst. अरे बिप्लब देव ये कौन है, कहाँ से आए ये ऐसे बोलते थे, ये लुटियंस वाले ऐसे ही बोलते हैं. आप हरियाणा में जब हमारे खट्टर जी थे, कौन मानता था उनको नेता? कौन मानता था सैनी साहब को नेता? अरे सैनी से तो हो नहीं पाएगा. फडणवीस के लिए भी 2014 से पहले यही बोला. We have not been in power in so many states. But sir, on the media point, you know why Mr. Kejriwal gets away?
को मैं अब थोड़ी बहुत पॉलिटिक्स से समझने लगा हूँ. यमुना पे वोट नहीं मिले.
When Kejriwal says all these things in the press conference, not a journalist asks him a counter question also. When he goes one way, does press conferences and says all kinds of rubbish, and he can be fact checked. Not a single media person sitting in Aam Aadmi Party press conferences says one word, because they know that if they say, they will be boycotted from the next press conference. And ask your own reporters about this. Ask your own reporters.
I'm out of time,
so
make it quick. Yes.
He has also asked from the BJP spokesperson, from the BJP leaders, that tell me a single state. You have governments in more than 20 states जहां पे आपने स्कूल बनाए हो, अस्पताल बनाए हो, शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, बिजली, पानी दिया हो. No spokesperson has ever answered that whether they have worked on government schools, government hospitals, bijli, pani.
There were 4,000 hospitals in this country. Today there are 27,000 hospitals in 2024. Are you out of your? Are you insane? AIMS have been increased.
Schools have been closed. In Madhya Pradesh, more
how many
than
AIMS are there today in this country? Rahul, how many AIMS are there?
Ultimately,
how many AIMS are there? Please tell me.
Okay, it's
I mean, just lie without any cross question.
It's not for any of us who are participating in this debate to determine what happens. Everyone who's a voter of the national capital will have their say in which way the Delhi dangal goes. We've had a fascinating conversation. It's interesting to see the way this battle is shaping up. May the best man, woman win. India seems to be making a real hash of this transition from the Rohit Kohli Ashwin era to the new era. Nikhil Naz joins us. Nikhil, first we had Ashwin leaving halfway through the series. Now you've got Rohit, who's probably going to sit it out of tomorrow's match. Why is the team, which is supposed to be the world's most funded, best organized team, just coming apart in this fashion? I mean, surely you can't have a situation where you decide suddenly to drop your captain. How bad are things in the dressing room at the moment?
Well, Rahul, I mean, I'd have to say that this is going to be unprecedented. I think the writing is on the wall. We pretty much confirmed it that, come toss time in Sydney, and the captain in Rohit Sharma will not be part of the 11. Is it surprising? It is, because as I said, it's unprecedented. It's never happened in the history of Indian cricket. We've had captains leave midway during a tour. We had Anil Kumble do that. We had MS Dhoni do that, primarily down to their own form and where the team was heading. But we never had a situation where the captain has had to sit out. I think the big debate at the moment is it a call that the captain himself has taken, which is quite a possibility considering how conscientious Rohit Sharma has been, considering what happened last time when you had to drop someone like a Shubman Gill to accommodate the captain, and that result did not quite go India's way. In a scenario like that, could the captain have taken the call? Could the coach have taken the call? Well, let's not forget another player in this entire puzzle, I think, who would have played a major role in this decision. That has to be your chairman of selectors in Ajit Agarkar. And I say that because you'd have to go back a few months, and he was appointed precisely for this reason, that you wanted someone of stature. You needed someone who could take the harsh call, who could bell the cat, who could literally tell the senior players when they need to sit out and not. And I think that is exactly why someone like an Ajit Agarkar was brought in. And for him then to have told Rohit Sharma to sit out, I think then it all adds up. The fact that he did not come for the press conference, the fact that Gautam Gambhir, when asked the question, did not address it directly by saying, yes, the captain is playing, I think pretty much told us all that the captain will not be playing. I think you will now have to look at the future for Rohit Sharma, the test player. We had Mr. Gavaskar multiple times on our program, and he had said that this probably will be a tour where he'll take a call. And we thought this could be his final hurrah. But now that he's not playing, the other big question is, had he already played his last test match for India? And was it the last test match that was played? So multiple questions that the Indian cricket team has had to deal with. But all I'll say, Rahul, is while the captain sitting out is unprecedented, stories of dressing room and unrest within the dressing room aren't real. In fact, if you go back in Indian cricket history, it is directly proportional to how the Indian team performs. It's happened in the recent past as well. Whenever the performances aren't matching up, then the amount of stories that do come out of being unrest within the team, officials within the team, is directly proportional to that. The only thing that really surprised me there, that the Indian team really isn't down in the dumps at the moment, because they're still fighting for a series. They still have a test match remaining. And for all you know, they could still retain the Border Gavaskar trophy if they were to win in their favorite hunting ground in Australia, that is Sydney. and yet you have these things probably hinting towards a major transition happening in Indian Test cricket.
But somebody needs to bat and score some runs for us to be able to win at Sydney. Let's see if that happens, and let's also see the role the weather plays. Nikhil Naz, thank you for joining us. It'll be really terrible if we end up losing the Border Gavaskar Trophy. If they fight hard and then lose, that's bad. But if you squander your wickets by playing T20 style shots when you just got about 20 overs to play and 7 wickets left, that's a real travesty. Poor show by the Indian team. Let's hope it changes at Sydney tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening at 8. Goodbye.